material. So I'm happy to introduce myself. I'm Gretchen Moore, and I'm the Executive Director of Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation. And I'm so excited to officially welcome all of you to the 2024 Empowering Women in Production program. Over the next 5 months, you're going to take a transformative leadership journey. And I know that sounds maybe a little bit cheesy, but it's true. This program is not about changing who you are or teaching you how to be a leader. You are already a leader. That's why you're here. This program is designed to take you on a journey to identify your skills, understand your strengths, and unlock your full potential as a leader. And today's kickoff is the first step in that journey. So I'd like to start off by thanking our wonderful sponsor. BASF is our sponsor for this program, and BASF is a wonderful partner to the WiMEF Education Foundation. And I'm delighted that we have members of the BASF team in this class with us. So thank you to BASF for making this possible. Before we start, I have a few housekeeping items that I wanted to go through. We have about 35 people on the call, and I expect we'll have some more join us. So just a reminder to stay on mute so that everyone can hear the presentation without feedback or background noise. You can adjust your view setting by going to the top right corner of your Zoom screen and click View and select Speaker View, which should give you a good view of the slide deck. Now, I will note that when I joined this call, my Zoom updated and all of these new features popped up. So I don't know if that advice is still good, but hopefully it still works. So hopefully everyone can see the slide deck as well. So please feel free to use the chat feature to ask questions. I'll do my best to keep an eye on the chat in real time, but I'm also managing the waiting room and doing the presentation. So be patient with me if I don't get to it. We do have a lot of material that we'll be going through, so and we will have time for Q&A at the end. So we'll make sure that we answer all of your questions. And just a reminder that this presentation is recorded. I will share the presentation on Mighty Networks along with the slide deck, so you can refer back to this at any time. Also, if you need to hop off the call, or if there's anyone who can't join live, this will be available as well. So let's hop to the agenda. So we'll start out doing a quick icebreaker just to get to know one another and kind of get centered. I will share some background information on WiMEF and the Education Foundation, and then we'll really dive into the program structure, Mighty Networks, professional development, coaching, and graduation. And then we'll wrap up with some time to answer questions and explore other ways to connect through WiMEF resources. So for our icebreaker today, using the chat function, I'd love if you could drop in there, what was your first job? So go ahead and put that in, and we'll read some of them out loud, and I bet we'll find that some of us, automation engineer, wow, that is a big swing to start off with. Domino's Pizza. So my first job was McDonald's, and I remember my boss, Jackie, she used to say, if you got time to lean, you've got time to clean. And I always hated hearing her say that, but it definitely helped shape how I learned to work. So Burger King, Ross Dress for Less, Video Store, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Dunkin' Donuts, yep, TJ Maxx. A lot of those customer service jobs, right? That's it's a great place to start, and boy, you learn a lot. Hardee's, dry cleaner. My best friend worked as a dry cleaner. She worked at Fussy Dry Cleaners, which I always love the name of that. So I asked this question as the icebreaker because I want us to use this moment to think about that first job and other jobs that you've had along the way. Think about your coworkers, your managers, the supervisors that you had. What difficulties and challenges did you face, right? Especially that first job, there's a lot of a learning curve where you really learn how to, be a person in a workplace, and you learn how to deal with different types of people. And I want you to think about what you learned from those experiences. And then also think about along the way, the great mentors that you had and the wonderful guides and leaders that you encountered and what you learned from them. How did they influence who you are? What did they teach you? What did you learn along the way? And then think about the kind of leader that you have become. As I said, you're here because you're already a leader. So think about the kind of leader that you've become, and visualize the type of leader that you want to be, and how you want your colleagues and supervisors and direct reports or customers to see you. How do you want to be viewed in the workplace, and what will it take to become that leader that you ultimately want to be? And so I'm sharing this moment because I want you to hold on to that image of who you want to be as you go through this program, and use that as your North Star. And right now you can write a note to yourself or put a word or a phrase on a Post-it note to remind you of this intention. But really think about that and use that as this North Star as you go through the program. And then when you graduate from this program in July, I want you to think back to this moment and think about the progress you've made and what you've learned along the way. It feels like July is far off, but it's going to be here sooner than we know, and we're going to cover a lot of great information. On that note, let's jump into it because we have a lot of information to cover today. So I'd like to start with a little bit of background on WiM and the WiM Education Foundation, because this EWiP program is not just any old leadership program. So you are part of a larger community of women who work in manufacturing and who are here to support one another. Women in Manufacturing was established a decade ago, and it's the only national trade association dedicated solely to women working in manufacturing. We have more than 25,000 members around the globe, which is phenomenal. And also there's so many more women that are working in manufacturing that we have yet to reach. So we are continuing to grow. We also have 33 chapters around the US. So be sure to connect with a chapter if you're in a state with a chapter. We add new chapters every year. So if your state doesn't have a chapter, one may be coming soon, and you can find that in chapter locations on our webpage. WiM also offers year-round programming with more than 20 meetings and conferences each year for women who work in manufacturing. The WiM Education Foundation is the 501c3 partner to WiM, and our goal is to close the gender gap, increase the number of women in leadership roles, and to inspire the next generation of women working in manufacturing. We offer 4 educational programs, including the monthly virtual learning series, and that's free to all WiM members. And we also have 3 cohort-based programs. So the Leadership Institute is an executive leadership program. Management Development Program is for new and aspiring managers, and Empowering Women in Production is for women in production and shop floor roles who have strong leadership qualities, but at this point, limited leadership experience. So this next slide, I'm happy to introduce you to all of the leaders, all of you who are participating in this February Empowering Women in Production program. And as a member of this class, you join more than 600 women who have participated in this program since 2021. We are so happy to welcome 92 of you from 35 different companies in 24 US states and 3 countries. And I'm excited to have you join this program. And I encourage you to get to know your classmates. You can chat with one another. You can share your LinkedIn profiles, use Mighty Networks to connect with one another, and build this, this cohort of support. So now on to the program overview. I'll start with a broad overview, and then we'll do a deeper dive onto each of the elements. So we know from years of data that women, particularly those working in male-dominated fields, thrive when they have access to leadership development resources. In fact, 78% of women say that coaching, mentorship, and dedicated skill building have the greatest impact on their careers. For more than 18 months, the Women in Manufacturing Education Foundation worked with leading manufacturers to determine the qualities and skills they're looking for when they decide who to promote or give leadership opportunities to, or when determining raises. And we identified more than 24 traits. And then we worked with industry experts to create instructions on each of those traits that would connect directly to those promotable skills that manufacturing companies are looking for. So this coursework of this program is designed specifically to impart those skills. So we created Empowering Women in Production in 2021 to incorporate the coursework along with professional development and coaching to provide a holistic and robust experience. And those are the 3 elements that you see on this slide here. So let's take a look at each of these 3 elements: the coursework, the professional development, and the coaching. So the overall program structure, on the coursework side, the program consists of 8 recorded webinars covering 13 leadership topics. And those are the topics that we worked with the manufacturing companies to identify. Because working in manufacturing may mean challenging schedules, our coursework is pre-recorded, so you're able to view the webinars at your own pace and on your own time. Because they're recorded, you can go back and rewatch the webinars throughout the program. And we also keep them available to you for 3 months post-graduation. So you can always go back and review. The videos and then any companion materials or worksheets that go along with the videos are preloaded onto Mighty Networks for easy access. And every 2 weeks, we unlock a new webinar throughout the program. And so they show up in your Mighty Networks table of contents. So for example, your first lesson, Emotional Intelligence, will open on March 4th. And Mighty Networks, hopefully, it looks like a lot of you were able to register and log in. And Mighty Networks is a woman-owned learning platform that is part educational and part social. It's web-based, so you can simply go to the website, you can create a profile and have access to the coursework. But there is also an app, so if it's more convenient to use your phone or a tablet, you can download the app and access Mighty Networks through the app as well. Mighty Networks can be accessed through computer, laptop, tablet, or phone. And in addition to watching the webinars, you can also use Mighty Networks to chat with your classmates. You can view the program calendar, and you can log your progress to graduation. If you have any trouble accessing Mighty Networks, you can contact me directly, send me an email, contact me through the chat, or if you're already in Mighty Networks, you can contact me there. And we'll make sure you have everything you need. The second element beyond the coursework is professional development. And so as part of that, you will complete a StrengthsFinder skills assessment. And that will help identify your top 5 leadership skills. And you will use that working with your coach to learn how to best apply those skills at work. And then also each month, you're invited to an optional peer discussion to connect with your classmates, share experiences, talk about what you're learning. And we have that available. It's optional. We have that available because building a peer network is a key element in leadership development and professional growth. When we first started this program, it was kind of isolating to just kind of watch videos on your own and never have an opportunity to connect with your peers. And so we started this peer discussion as a way to add that element of professional development. And then the third component is coaching. And so we work with Invite Change, which is a woman-owned professional coaching company. They are certified through the International Coaching Federation. And you may choose from a selection of diverse women coaches and find the one that is the best fit. And coaches are diverse based on their background, their race, ethnicity, coaching style, experience, expertise, the type of coaching they do. And we have bios for each of the coaches so you can kind of get to know them and then select one that feels like would be a good fit for you. And then you and your coach will work together to find times that work with your schedule for your coaching sessions. And you would do 4 30-minute coaching sessions throughout the program. So let's do a little bit of a deeper dive onto the how-to of especially Mighty Networks, because that's really where the bulk of this work takes place. So each learning session on Mighty Networks includes an introduction to the presenter, and then a recording of the presentation. And then some of the presentations include worksheets or homework as takeaways. So when the coursework starts on March 4th, you'll go to Mighty Networks, take some time to read your presenter bio, watch the video. She has a worksheet that you fill out as you watch the video, and then that session will be complete. And we also provide a learning action plan, which is really just, it's a Word document that we created that you can use as a guide through each lesson to take notes. And then it has prompts and questions like, what are your key takeaways? Or identify 1 or 2 ideas that you will implement back at work. It has discussion items that you can share in the peer discussions or with your supervisor to help identify opportunities related to this learning that you can take back to your job. So that document is just for you, but it's intended to help you make the most of this learning session. So the learning action plan is available in Mighty Networks under the overview as a key resource. And so we do ask that you have your profile set up on Mighty Networks by March 1st. And so I'm going to advance the slide and we can do a look at what Mighty Networks looks like. So those of you who are in Mighty Networks, you've already probably seen something that looks like this. If you're not in there yet or you've had trouble logging on, this will give you an idea of what to look for. So the first step is set up your profile. Have that done by March 1st. And enter the February 2024 Empowering Women in Production program. From here, you can review the programs, you can download content, you can watch videos, and you can chat with one another. And so it's a little bit like social media almost, where you can click through the different tabs at the top. Under table of contents, you can see the overview, and that will give a description of what EWiP is. You can see how this program works, and it will tell you basically everything we're covering in this session today. You can see the Zoom link, because that's the kickoff that we're at today, the course outline. We have a survey that we ask people to review and complete. The learning action plan, which is that worksheet that I talked about, you can find that here. Key resource, which is for WiMEF membership. So making sure that you have your WiMEF membership set up, and then a welcome from our president and founder, Allison Graylis. So each of those items are available. Right now, you can go to the feed, which is generally where I'll post announcements when we have new sessions that unlock. You can click on members, which is where you can connect with your classmates. Events is any of our live events. So the kickoff today, the peer discussions, and the graduation, and then chat, which is just like social media where you can chat with one another and you can share stories or ask questions, share your thoughts on what you're learning, send encouragement. So that's really your networking space. So all of these sections are available for you to peruse right now. You can also click on the gear icon at the top and adjust your settings. And that's where you can adjust to receive notifications. You can get them, once a week, you can get them daily, you can get them as they happen. And you can decide if you want notifications about chats or lessons being unlocked, all of that. So that's really where you would go to set up your profile. Now, this view may look slightly different from what you see, because this is the administrative view from my end, which I'm sharing this because I want to talk to you about the unlocking piece that we do. So you'll see in this view that where it says key resource, program, kickoff, slide deck, that's shaded gray. That's because that's not visible to you as participants yet. So when this program is over, I'll upload the slide deck and the recording to this space, and I'll make this visible, and then this will show up in your feed. And that's how it will work for each of the learning sessions. So you can't see all of the learning sessions right now, but every 2 weeks I will unlock those. So if you're looking now for what the coursework is, you won't see it until I unlock it. So that's how that will appear in your feed. And then as we unlock those sessions with emotional intelligence beginning on March 4th, every 2 weeks, they will unlock in your feed. We found that that's a really good cadence to go at, where it gives you enough time to watch it, maybe rewatch it. But I would recommend don't go too long, because it can get kind of hard to catch up at the end. So let me show you how this looks when we unlock this session. So on March 4th, I'll send an announcement through the feed that emotional intelligence is now available. And you'll see this on your table of contents. So emotional intelligence will appear here, and you'll see Meet Christina Hahn, download the handouts and watch the recording. And then 2 weeks after that, I'll unlock the customer service and safety orientation. So you'll see that. And then shortly after that, I'll do individual responsibility and time management. So those will all come online, and you can ignore these dates because these were from our last session. I didn't want to unlock them yet because then that would be confusing. So that's what these will look like as they come online. Now, when you click on emotional intelligence, it will look like this. And so you can read the quick overview. You can click on Meet Christina Hahn and read her bio and get a little bit about her background. You can open the handouts because her presentation has some handouts with it, and then you can watch the recording. And that's really all there is to it, to participate in the lessons. But there is the important part that when this is completed, at the bottom, there's a button that says mark as complete. So be sure that you mark as complete, because that's how we make sure that you're progressing along, and that's how we determine graduation. So I know I'm giving a lot of detail here, but once you get into Mighty Networks and start to play around, you'll see how this works, and it's pretty intuitive. But that marking as complete, just make sure you do that after you watch each video. And so again, just a reminder to set up your profile in Mighty Networks by March 1st, and we'll release that first learning session on March 4th. So in addition to Mighty Networks, we also have the StrengthsFinder assessment. So you will today receive an email from noreply@gallup.com or something similar to that will invite you to take the StrengthsFinder test. This will take 30 to 40 minutes. Find some time where you can be uninterrupted, because taking this test, it's kind of like rapid fire questions, and they'll say, do you like this or that? Do you want this or that? Do you want this or that? And you only have a few seconds to answer each one. And if you wait too long, it moves on. So make sure you have set aside some time to do this. Get yourself in a good headspace, and really just go with your gut on how you answer these. You want an accurate reading. So just answer, as truthfully as possible, kind of from your gut. Don't try to rig the answers. This is not a quiz on BuzzFeed to see which Harry Potter character you are. So don't put your thumb on the scale to try and get an answer. The nice thing about this test is it's just identifying strengths. So there are no wrong answers. It's not going to come back and say, these are all the things that is wrong with you. It comes back and says, these are the 5 things that are amazing about you. So really make sure that you are in a good place to take this test, and just think about answering this just really, again, from your gut, and not trying to get an answer. And when the test is complete, you'll receive a report that includes your top 5 strengths. So you can read through it, see if it resonates. And then once you book time with your coach, share that with your coach, because that will be the basis of the conversations that you have with your coach. You can even share this with your supervisor. It's a great tool to help you access your inherent strengths as a leader. On my team, we share our top 5 with one another, and it really helps us know how to best work with one another. So if you don't receive this email this afternoon, check your spam or junk folders. And if it's not there, contact me. And again, we ask you to complete this test by March 1st. And then the other professional development piece is peer discussions. And so, as I mentioned before, these are offered monthly, and they are not required. They're totally optional. And it's a time for you to connect with your classmates, to talk about what you're learning, to ask questions, to access the group wisdom on maybe problems you're having at work, or sharing experiences about putting your learning to action. These are not mandatory, but we do encourage you to attend if you're able. You can find the dates and Zoom links on Mighty Networks. They're listed under the Table of Contents tab and also in the Events tab. And you can actually add them directly to your calendar. So on the day of each peer discussion, I'll post a reminder in the feed on Mighty Networks along with the Zoom link. Your first peer discussion is Monday, March 18th at noon. I will actually be out of the country on that day, so you'll be joined by Jen Kopp, who actually used to run this program, and she's a wonderful facilitator and all-around delightful human being. So it's going to be a great session with June. We do not record those sessions. We want them to be open conversations, and we want you to speak freely. We come with a few questions in mind. We send you to breakout rooms, and we really just want you all to be able to talk with one another and share your experiences. So that's a really great part of this program. And then the final element is coaching. So as I mentioned, you'll receive an email in the next 12 or so hours inviting you to the coaching dashboard to select your coach. Your email will come from Sarah Graves at Invite Change, and it will include your login information, so a username and password. So you take that username and password, you go to the dashboard, enter your information, and you'll be able to read about each of the coaches, and then you can select the one that feels like will be the best fit. A couple of notes. So you're responsible for scheduling sessions with your coach, and your coach will make herself available at whatever time you need. So they understand sometimes you may work off hours. So your coach will work with you to be as flexible as possible in scheduling those meetings. And just a reminder to be respectful of their time. You or your company are paying for this service, so make the most of it. Make sure that you show up when you do schedule the meetings. If you can't make a meeting, make sure to let your coach know. These are really skilled professionals, and we're very grateful that they give their time to work with us, and just really want to make sure that you make the most out of this. It is consistently ranked the most valuable part of the program. And it's a great opportunity for you to connect with someone outside of your organization who has only your best interest at heart, and everything you share with your coach is confidential. So it's a really great opportunity to take what you're learning and what you're experiencing at work and have those conversations about how to make the most out of this program. So keep an eye out for that email from Invite Change today. If you don't see it, check your spam or inbox. Or you can email Sarah directly at the email that's listed on the slide, which is sarah.graves@invitechange.com. And we ask you to select your coach by March 1st. So hopefully you're seeing the theme that March 1st is the day that we want all of these pieces to be in place. So over the next 20 weeks, you're experiencing a mix of all of those elements. So online courses, professional development, and coaching. And then it's on to graduation, which July seems so far away, but I think it will be here before we all know it. So graduation is a lot of fun, and we will celebrate your achievement of completing the program with a virtual graduation ceremony at noon on Thursday, July 11th. So the Zoom link and calendar invite are in Mighty Networks already. So you can add that to your calendars now. We will record this for anyone who is unable to join. You will also receive a certificate of completion at the graduation. And we encourage you, or you should feel free to invite guests. So this is a celebration, and we've had people who dress up, who put graduation filters on Zoom, who bring their kids or their supervisors or their colleagues. It's really, it's not a formal event, but it's a lot of fun. And we take some time to really celebrate all of your hard work over about 5 months. So really excited for graduation. In order to graduate, you must complete at least 80% of your coursework on Mighty Network. So again, remember to mark that complete button at the bottom of those learning sessions. And you must complete at least 3 of the 4 coaching sessions, and all of that must be done by July 2nd. So we do take this requirement seriously, and we've had some people who have not graduated before. So be sure to keep up with the pace of this program. Be sure to mark your sessions as complete. Don't wait till the last minute on scheduling your coaches, because they are professional coaches with careers and other clients, and they may not have availability to do all of your coaching sessions as a catch up at the end of the program. So just make sure you stay on top of that. That said, we know that sometimes things come up. And so if you're falling behind or you have a life event, please just reach out to us and we'll work with you to make sure that we get you across the finish line in one piece. So that's still a few months away. So what we're looking for at this moment is complete your registration on Mighty Networks and join the February Empowering Women in Production group by March 1st. You'll receive an email this afternoon inviting you to the StrengthsFinder skills assessment. Complete that by March 1st. You'll receive an email in the next 12 or so hours inviting you to log in to invite change and select your coach. Complete that by March 1st. And we'll also have a survey on Mighty Networks. It's in the key resources section of the table of contents. It only takes a few minutes to complete. And it's completely anonymous, but it's important to us at the WiMEF Education Foundation because it helps us understand who you are as a group and how to ensure that this program meets your needs. And so we ask you to complete this survey by, you guessed it, March 1st. So that really is the day. And then we'll have your first learning session will open on March 4th. So I know I just shared a whole lot of information with you. So I'm happy to answer any questions right now. You can put them in the chat or feel free to come off mute and ask the question, whatever questions you have. And if we don't get something today, or if any questions come up, you can always reach out to me. Okay. Well, that's hopefully that means I covered everything, or I just completely overwhelmed you. So, okay, question in the chat. Do we need to upload our completed handouts? Great question. No, you don't. All of this is for you. I would say if you have worksheets, share those with your coach. That's really a great person to share that with if you have something you want to go over. A lot of the worksheets you'll see will be things where they want you to think about something or write down 3 things that you're going to try to do. So it really is worksheets for you. You don't have to turn them in. So I don't grade papers. So. Okay, any other questions? Okay, well then I will share this last bit just as a reminder. As I said earlier, you're part of the WiMEF community and we have so many wonderful resources available to you, and I encourage you to take advantage of any of these. You can join a chapter, you can register for the monthly virtual learning series, which is free to WIM members, and it takes place the second Tuesday of every month. In March, we have 6 steps to financial success. So we talk about things that are related to work, but also things that are, relevant to our lives as well. The webinars from the virtual learning series are available in the virtual learning library, so you can access those at any time. WIM has events going on year round, and we're very, very active on social media, especially LinkedIn. So be sure to follow WIM on any of those channels. And I see we have a question, are the coaches all on Eastern Standard Time? Great question. No, they're not. And they are available to work at different times, so they can do early morning or evening or weekend hours. So, and they'll work with you on, what works with your schedule. Okay, well, if you have any questions, if you have any trouble logging in on, Mighty Networks, let me know. I see in the question and answer, a little late joining this meeting, where will I be able to go to see the recording? So the recording will be available in Mighty Networks. Sometimes it takes a couple hours to download from Zoom, but by this afternoon, late afternoon, we should have the recording available. And if you have any questions, you can just reach out to me anytime. Will the virtual library be available on Mighty Networks? No, it's not. That actually is available on the WIM website. And if you give me 1 second, I can drop it in the chat right now. Where we have, and you can go in there. We have all kinds of topics in the virtual learning library, everything from like how to negotiate. That was a very popular one, all the way to cybersecurity and mental health awareness. Last month we had a session, or this month, I guess, still February, we had a session on navigating menopause in the workplace, and that was really, really popular. So we kind of run the gamut on all of those topics. And I will say we don't have a great way right now that those are organized. They're organized by date, but we will be working in the year ahead to organize those by topics. So keep an eye on the virtual learning library. Okay, if there are no other questions, I will say thank you for joining us today, and thank you for participation in this program. I'm so excited you're here and really excited to be on this journey with you. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or any issues with Mighty Networks or StrengthsFinders or finding your coach. So thank you for joining us, and I will place this recording and the slide deck in Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is available as an app, but it is also a web page. So you don't have to have the app to access it, but sometimes it is easier on the app. And once you go to the web page, you'll see the description that says, find us on Apple or Google Play. So, yeah. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Good luck and keep in touch, and we'll see you in the coming weeks. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.